Okay, I didn't want to do a video on this because I don't like everybody knowing my business, and my YouTube channel's public, so anybody in my area could watch my channel and find this information out. And if I wanted them to know, I'd tell them, right? But I'm gonna make one anyways because I figure it could help somebody that might be in a situation like me. However, just know these are not chickens. They are not as loud as a hen chicken. They're definitely not on the same decibel as a rooster chicken. They're Coturnix quail. They make different noises. They're quiet. They don't bother anybody. However, I have had some complaints, just from one person, so complaint, but multiple times. And I do want to, before you get nasty in the comments, it's just not like that. So I'm not going to tell anybody to shove off or any of that stuff because I live next to them, and I want everyone to be happy. And if I can continue to raise anything for self-sufficiency without causing turmoil to neighbors, that is the goal. However, at some point when spit hits the fan, you're gonna have to make a choice. And when spit hits the fan, I don't think I'm gonna have to worry about people complaining because spit's gonna hit the fan. Everyone's gonna be worrying about their own stuff and not my stuff. However, because we're not in that situation yet, I need to try and do something different. So before you are like, oh, this idea, trust me, we've tried a lot of different things, but ultimately, here's what we're gonna do for winter, and I think it's gonna work for us, and I think we'll be able to make it work. So I do need the eggs, whether they're fertile or not, for eating eggs for farmers markets. I'm planning on doing, at the very least, several holiday markets, but it looks like the market I go to locally is trying to do a full winter market so that we can all still sell our products in the wintertime. So I want to keep eggs. However, I got to make sure that I don't have any roosters bothering anybody, but if I have hens, I can keep the lights on 24/7. I can make sure the chicks that I'm brooding outside are getting light and eating. And if I breed sex links only, jumbo sex links, by the time the second the chicks are hatched, I'll know whether they're boys or girls. And I will also, by 3 weeks, know which ones need to go somewhere else. And what I'm planning on doing is, we have some friends, my husband works with them, and they have property, and they're just gonna take all the males. So that's kind of in negotiations right now, but they're planning on taking all the males with them. And then we can just, because they meet up here for work every day, they can bring us males, I can process them, we can share the meat, we can bring them food and all that stuff. And then I think there won't be any sounds because I am in Utah and my neighbors are very, very close. The houses are very close. I won't have to deal with roosters as much. I am going to keep some roosters. Before you're like, whoa, you're not hatching chicks anymore. Don't you worry. I'm still planning on hatching chicks. I'm going to have a cage in the house of just breeders, and the males will be in the house. And then they shouldn't bother anybody because they're going to be busy breeding with their hens and used to being in the house. Everyone outside the house will be hens or chicks, not crowing. And I think that'll solve the problem. So what I'm outside doing right now is actually taking care of everybody for the night, and also putting all the roosters in the freezer camp cat carrier, because it's gonna be freezer camp for most of them. Not all of them, especially if I just got roosters from you, don't worry. Like, they're gonna be breeders and they're gonna be in the house. But everybody else outside's gonna be quiet, and we're gonna cut back a little bit and just have hens and chicks. So fingers crossed that works, because I'd really like to keep everybody happy and then still be able to do what I want to do but it's just easier when everybody gets along. I think everybody can agree life is easier when everybody's happy. And if I can do something that makes the neighbors happy, but still makes me happy, because I suffer from depression and anxiety, and quail and homesteading, like it has my heart, and it helps me so much with my depression and anxiety. It gives me something else to focus on, and I want to still be able to do it. But I need to figure out a way to do it where they can also be happy, because them being upset also gives me anxiety. So I want them to be happy and not having to text me and tell me to make sure that they're shut up or eaten or something. And then I can still have what I want. They can get what they want, and they can get their sleep and their peace and quiet. So yeah, hopefully that kind of helps with the problem. So I will keep you guys updated. But for those of you that are in the city and you're like, I would say try roosters first, making sure they have enough hens and stuff. They'll probably be quiet. However, we grow out roosters often across from our breeders, and they can see them, they can hear them. Even if they couldn't see them, they could hear them, and they will crow, and all it takes is one to start and the whole shed will start, and that's a problem. So this is what we're gonna try. Hopefully it works. Okay guys, I kind of wanted to make an ending to the video because I got cut off while I was filming it, and I had a really hard time deciding what I wanted to say in the video, because I don't want to say anything negative about neighbors and stuff. It just is what it is. But I have gotten rid of most of my males. It's been about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, since I got rid of the males. I have a male left that's a pet, and he just hangs out with some females outside, and his crow is like defective, and so he doesn't really crow. He goes and so no one can hear him. And so he's allowed to be outside. He's got his own little friends and stuff, and he's good. The other 3 males kind of go in and out of the house just because I haven't processed anyone yet, so I haven't processed them yet. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get eggs frequently from my favorite breeder. If you've watched my channel, I'm sure you can figure out who it is, because most of my birds, all of my birds except for one line that I started a long time ago, come from this person. But I don't want to say too many names because I don't want other people getting butthurt if I name one person and not them. But yeah, I'm sure I will mention it in later videos, but for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to order in a lot of hatching eggs. I will likely do that to not only sustain my hatching program, but also to keep propagating my flock, because I don't have any males. I do have some grow outs that are about 3 weeks old and they haven't started crowing yet. So I may take one of my brooder boxes and put those males with some hens in the house and see how they do. When I was trying to do that before, the shuffle back and forth and being inside and stuff, they weren't laying. But I don't really have cages that I like in the house because it's just kind of a little bit too messy. So I like brooder boxes, like Tupperware container with air holes, like that kind of thing. Or I have some nicer wooden brooder boxes. And so I'll probably do something like that maybe in my living room, and then just keep the ones that have kind of grown up together and that are just getting out of the brooder, just move them over. So I might try that. And we're still in negotiations trying to get one of my husband's friends to let us keep males and probably a couple breeding pens at his house so that we can have our own fertile eggs. Because I usually don't sell fertile eggs to locals anyways, and I don't ship eggs. I don't ship fertile eggs, so it mainly just be for me anyways, but it's nice to be able to hatch year round. and it is harder during certain seasons. Like where I get my eggs from doesn't really have a winter, so it doesn't matter. But here it's hard to, the winter and the summers are really hard on the eggs, so it's just easier if I have my own eggs. But there are ways around it if you're in a situation where you feel like you can't have males, or you can't have males and you can't have them in your house, or whatever the situation may be. There's always other ways around it, and so I'm just kind of trying to show you guys there are still ways to do what you want to do. Sometimes you just might have to get creative, and I'm going to start making more videos on creative ways that I make money with my business that is unique from bigger businesses where people can have chicken roosters and duck drakes and quail roosters and everything else and all the things, and I can't have as many where I'm at, and I'm highly watched because I'm in the city. It's easy to see me and see what I'm doing in my small yard. So yeah, there will be continuations of this on different ways that if you lose a stream of income, like now I got no males and I can't grow them out, so I really don't have anything to eat unless I eat the laying hens. I don't have anything for my falconers currently, and I also don't have anything for my bird dog trainers. So that's 3 streams of income that could and temporarily is non-existent. So I do have creative ways that I figured out to have other income streams. So I think the best way to do homesteading for profit, like city limit self-sufficiency, where you're trying to bring in income to at least offset food costs, if not more, is having multiple streams of income. So I will add that to my Can My Quail Be Profitable playlist. But for now, I don't have any males that are fertilizing my eggs. I just have eating eggs. I do sell a lot of eating eggs, and I plan on shipping in to hatch temporarily until we can get some hens that are cool with being in the house in a box, laying and getting fertilized. So fingers crossed, but don't worry, Feather Connections, we're not going down that easy. So still here, still kicking, and I will use this time now that I am not focusing on that part of the business to try and put more content out there, because I get asked a lot of questions, and it's easier sometimes if I can just be like, oh, here's a video in case you forgot the answer I already gave you, because I'm totally game to answer questions all the time. Feel free to message me, text me. But if you forget the answer I gave you, or you just want something to go back on and review, I will try and make more YouTube videos. A lot of my friends that are on YouTube are like, why aren't you making more videos? And I'm like, life, right? So yeah, hopefully this video helps people that are like on the fence, or you're like not sure. I highly encourage you to try roosters too. They're not on the same decibel as a hen. Like a chicken hen or a chicken rooster, not the same. So I encourage you to ask for forgiveness and not permission. That's kind of how I do. But I've been doing this for 4 years, and it's just gotten a lot for some neighbors, and so I'm gonna try and come at it at a different angle and see if I can make sure they're happy, but I'm also happy, and bringing in the income to, at the very least, cover the feed costs. So I will catch you guys on the flip side. Thanks for watching. Bye.